Hey, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. So in this one, we're going to go over some fan reaction. It seems like the community is quite outraged over the reverse split announcement from YieldMax. There's been a lot of frustration and angst and anger about this, especially in the environment that we're in, where there's like no NAV appreciation. So we're going to go over that, and we're also going to go over some additional information. I'm going to use some spreadsheet info from a video from Rod, so full credit to him. So let's go into that first, and then let's go over some comments. And I'm going to respond to every comment if I can, including ones I get here. Okay, so I was actually watching Rod's today, Retire on Dividends. Shout out to him. He's spreadsheets. But what I want to go over here, fair use. I want to go over, he actually put together what it would be with the current price and the new price with the reverse split. Not too hard, just really aggregating information. I wanted to do the same myself, but yeah, welcome, Nick. Clearly, you're here, so you're not square, right? Because I said in Discord, be there, be square. So welcome, folks. Thanks for joining. So I kind of wanted to do this myself, but it makes it easy just to kind of reference this. So there's 12 funds that are getting reverse split. 5 of them are doing a 1-for-5 split. And then the other 7 are doing a 10-for-1 split. So essentially, based on the prices at the close of business, close of market Friday, for YBIT, which is the Bitcoin income strategy ETF, it was 758. After the 5-for-1 split, it would now trade at 37.90. So we should just go ahead and calculate this like this going forward, because this is what the price is going to be. If you all are going to stay in these funds, this is what the price is going to be. So I like this format. Now notice the outstanding shares have shrunk significantly. In the case of YBIT, 12,575,000 down to 2,515,000. Now the AUM doesn't change on these. That doesn't change as far as total, value, dollar amount in each fund. That shouldn't change. That's based on investors getting in and out of the funds, which who knows? Some people may get out of the funds because they're about to be a lot more expensive, of course. Now TSLY is going from 753. So ironically, we got the raise in TSLY that we wanted, right? So from 753 to 3765. The outstanding shares are going from almost 157 million down to 31.3 million. So big reduction. XYZY 695 pre-split will be almost $35 post-split. Outstanding shares, as you see there, drop significantly. Same with ABNY, 935 pre-split, 4675 post-split. This is as of Friday. Now, keep in mind here, if you look at the bottom of this, these are actually going to be effective November 28th and visible on December 1st. Now, looking at the prospectuses, I think some of them were going live on the 1st versus the 28th. But anyway, nonetheless, by the 1st of December, all of these will be visible. So the filing, the board of directors voted to do this reverse split for 12 of these funds to be effective November 28th, essentially 2 weeks from Friday. If you all are on here and you like this, please smash that like button. 2 thumbs way up. It greatly helps the algorithm. I greatly appreciate that. And we're getting a lot of new viewers. So if you all like this content, feel free to follow me. Feel free to subscribe to the channel. Because I cover this type of content regularly. And I also, I cover dividends and options. So I have a winning option strategy that's done very well this year, with a few hiccups here and there, of course. But if you all want to talk to me about that, feel free to DM me, of course, or reach out to me. Very successful strategy, alternative to dividend investing. It's more of a DIY. I'm kind of a DIY kind of a guy. I got out of TSLY. I've gotten out of most of my YieldMax. I think I hold the bag on a couple of them, XYZY and maybe Coney at this point, but it's a very minor stake. It was always a minor stake to begin with, but now it's really minor. It's gone from maybe like 10% or less to like 1%. So some of the inverse funds are getting a reverse split as well. OARK, this one was the OG, the first YieldMax fund. This is actually helpful because I just went over like by name. I didn't go over the ticker yesterday. So yeah, OARK 770 pre-split, 38.50 post split. Number of outstanding shares dropped significantly. BoCap says this is really bad news for all YieldMax investors. I'm going to go through the comments because the spectrum of what people are saying, I think we've got all bases covered. Let's put it this way, because there are people out there that think this is great news. And I actually align more with you, BoCap. I think this is not great. I'm not a fan of reverse splits, but there are people out there that think this is great news. There are also people out there that are happy when a fund drops 90%. So, it's tough to kind of get a barometer and, navigate through the middle ground of this subject, I guess, like politics, I guess. ULTY 421. So see, it's been dropping below $5. So 421, it will now be, that's easy math, 4210. Some people don't think I can do that math, but 421 times 10, 4210. That's pretty easy, I would say. Number of outstanding shares drop by basically, it goes down to 1/10 of what it was prior. Pretty easy math. Crash, since it's been crashing, it goes from 301 to 3010. 8 million outstanding shares down to 800,000. So a big shrinkage in outstanding shares for sure. It's almost like some would say it's like the equivalent of a buyback without doing a buyback. It's actually I've seen some comments that call it theft. I noticed it's like legal theft. That's to me a reverse split is legal theft of your shares. And I'm going to show you an example too with my own TSLY, what it showed in cost basis versus what was actually there after the first reverse split. I'm going to show you all exactly how this works and how you lose money in the long run because some of it's just gone no matter what. So dip, since it's been taking a dip, 530 pre-split, 53 post-split, fiat 267 pre-split, 2670 post-split. So for the time being, they're going to have a boost in NAV to erode further, presumably. And then the number of shares, of course, continues to go down. Besides going weekly, has there been any change to the strategy? Not really. Ironically, like I keep joking, this might actually be the NAV stabilization strategy that we've all been looking for. How stable the NAV will be remains to be seen. I mean, it's likely going to keep dropping, And I'm not trying to be super down on YieldMax. I'm just being honest here. You know, some people think I've been a YieldMax cheerleader. Some people now think I hate it. So the good news is when you have two polar extremes, the truth lies somewhere in between, right? So MRNY, this one I knew would get a split. The big question I'm seeing is why is MSTY, why is Misty not getting a split, right? That seemed like a prime candidate. But of course, MRNY, 151, now 1510, significant reduction in outstanding shares. Now, something I'm a little ticked off about, I can't really get Jay back on, but I'm pretty sure in prior interviews, he said they would just let the fund or they would close the fund before they did another reverse split because it was grossly unpopular. Maybe that was him talking. Maybe he's been overruled. I don't know. I don't want to get into the inner workings or the inner politics of YieldMax, but I don't know. I don't know why I was told one thing and another thing is happening. Because, like I said, reverse splits, not a fan. So AIYY 196, now 1960. Coney 520, now $52. Almost 200 million outstanding. Now it's going to drop below 20 million. So now that we've gone over that, I like that format there. I was going to do it myself, but it makes it easier this way, of course. Credit to Rod, by the way. If you all haven't checked him out, totally check him out. He's awesome. All right, now we're going to go look at comments over here. So let me go back. We're going to do a little backstage tour. By the way, the little video on the NAV erosion was actually huge. That kind of blew us up a little bit. Much needed. YouTube is getting ever so competitive, so it's important to, any chance we get to try to make headway where we can. All right, so what I'm going to do is go over some comments here. So yeah, we picked up about 4,500 views from that. I changed the thumbnail and stuff like that around. Maybe that'll boost it a little bit more because I just want to get the message in front of as many people as possible. That's what I'm about. I'm not worried about like my numbers and stuff. It's all about getting the message out to as many people as possible. And the more I grow on here, the more I'm able to do that. Let's see. The redeemed worker. Do you feel redeemed right now? Probably better off just exit YieldMax altogether. I mean, that's not a bad idea. I'm pretty much there myself. Assumption is that they are doing this so the funds won't be delisted. Well, but here's the thing. You got to ask yourself, Chuck, why in a record bull market are we even talking about delisting? I mean, this is, we're still, I mean, I haven't been told otherwise, but we're still in a bull market. Why would we even be discussing these funds having to be delisted? That reflects on the company, I just have to say. Let's see. MSTR is way down, so I understand why Misty is down, but what's going on with ULTY? Well, it's below $5. So much for the weekly strategy. The weekly strategy, was stabilizing between 5 and 6. Now it's dropped below. We have a happy Saturday from Pirate Justin. Welcome. Okay, smash that like button, folks, please. Makes that algorithm do wonders. Appreciate that greatly. All right, now let's look at some comments because it was pretty heated. We got a lot of we got a lot of community response here. So let's just start out with what we've got here from this commenter, Brudley. As an NVDY only investor, I feel like the right choice, at least for now. If NVDY ever falls to $9, I plan on hyper aggressively dollar cost averaging my way down and then trying to sell out. I'm surprised that more YieldMax investors don't pay more attention to GPTY and Chippy. I agree. I like those. Those would probably be in my stable dividend portfolio, actually. There's Chippy and GPTY. I'm actually going to make sure I add those right now. Okay, there we go. And I'm taking TSLY off the list. Let's see. Live comment. Do you hold any funds that are reverse splitting? And if so, do you track via spreadsheet? How do you adjust? I'm going to show you because I was part of the reverse split, the first one for TSLY. So I'm going to show you all exactly how it works. If you give me a like, by the way. Okay, so NVDY, I still think compared to the underlying, I still think NVDY is not great, but we'll give this comment a heart. So those show significant appreciation while paying 35%. That's exactly what we want. Lower dividend, great NAV appreciation, right? Here's a commenter that says, this is great news for me. This is a cheerleader here. This is a YieldMax cheerleader for sure. Because once they go back to $4, they're already calling it. Now, they said it's great news. No offense, because I'm sure they subscribe to me, so I'm not trying to alienate anyone here. But you're already calling it that they're going to go back to $4. All the dividends they collect will have paid off my... How about this? Is this person Irish? They have paid off me initial investment. It's going to be all green for me for ULTY and Coney. Well, I like the pie in the sky attitude. Just maybe you're right. We'll see. Just another 35 off dividends and I'm in the clear. Okay, well, I mean, that's possible. Here's another one. That's actually awesome news. So the reverse split, the 10-for-1 reverse split is awesome news. These are funds and not companies or stocks. And the way these funds are designed, these reverse splits are necessary. Well, I would agree on that. When a fund is designed to harvest and distribute the upside through options, the NAV will only go down in the long run because the underlying would have to go up 100% of the time, which they never do, just for the NAV to remain flat. Well, I say the same thing, but I see it totally differently. I'll be honest, after about 2.5 years covering this, I'll be honest, folks, I just don't see it. I just don't see investing in TSLY, getting an 80% dividend yield, but losing the majority of your NAV. I just don't see it. I still, for the life of me, maybe I'm just not a high yield dividend warrior after all. But I just don't see it. It doesn't make sense to me because I can show you if you invested in NVDL, if I put the same amount of money that I put into TSLY into NVDL, I'd have $2 million right now. And NVDL is a leveraged ETF by Granite Shares. So I don't know, folks. I just don't see it. Enlighten me. Because I just don't see the tremendous upside that you all keep talking about. Reinvest the dividends, you're going to make all your money back. Like, okay, I get it. That's kind of like real estate, but I already have real estate. I don't really want any more. I want the highest return possible. But that's just me. I cover these funds. These funds have broad appeal, of course, and I cover them, and I'll continue to cover them. I'm still recreating right now. I've had to sell some stuff, but I'm recreating what I call the stable dividend portfolio, coach's stable dividend portfolio that's going to pay, roughly a full-time income. But I've got to be perfectly honest, and I can't emphasize this enough. I just don't see it. Okay, TSLY, like I say, 80-90% dividends. Yeah, that's an amazing dividend. That's awesome that they're paying that much. But I just don't see what's so great about losing all of your NAV in the meantime. It's like you got your money back. So, I definitely need to be enlightened in that regard. Let's see. Justin says my best performing YieldMax funds have been Hui, GPTY, and Chippy. Well, Hui's largely dependent on the underlying, of course. Do you hold any funds? Oh, we already answered that. Okay, let's keep going here because we had a lot of good ones. Here's another. If they don't keep stable NAV in these funds after this, then YieldMax better just close their doors. But then the commenter above here said that that's what they're supposed to do. Also, since the funds are reverse splitting, then so should the fund managers pay. I like that, actually. Divide their pay by 10 or 5, depending on which fund they are on. They should also drop their fee 50 basis points at the most since they've been actively mismanaged. I'm going to say interesting idea. Not that I agree or disagree. I just, I'm amused by the idea. Rob Smith, frequent commenter here. Yep, do a better job managing ULTY and Misty, put some blue chips in ULTY and help balance it. Like I've been saying, if you look at some of the companies like Rocket Labs, Oklo, and some of the others that ULTY has been balancing in and out of, not only should ULTY be stable, but I think it should be appreciating. But you see, it's not stable anymore. The NAV has been depreciating. So hence the reverse split. YieldMax will probably now implement their planned NAV conservation strategies post-reverse split, then advertise that as we have learned our lesson, now things will be different. That's not a bad idea. That wouldn't surprise me, actually. See, I get to knock out 2 birds with 1 stone. Get a video going here and respond to comments, and they're really good. This is good community pulse. So these guys lodged an SEC filing late Friday for reverse splits of 12 funds, a second reverse split of 1 fund, and splits as bad as 1 for 10, all in a bull market. Okay, so this person thinks reverse splits are bad. With a prospectus claiming all tools at hand to generate option income, limit downside loss, capture upside growth. So what does that tell us? This is really good. I like this. To your point, you can't have your cake, weekly dividends, and eat it too. Stable NAV. These funds don't seem to work. Some fund companies are completely incompetent in their managers, and options traders should be fired. JP needs to rewrite his book. Number 4, we need to reassess, reset, and regroup. I agree. There are things not working out with this. But then again, some of you are totally happy. Some of you, you lose 90% of your NAV and you get dividends, and you're happier than a person that went to the casino and beat the house. Or you're happier than someone that played the lottery and won. All right, folks, let's get that like ratio up further, please. We got a lot of you on. I don't want to have to do a dance here or something goofy. I'm already goofy enough as it is. Let's see. Now the shares reverse split. Price add up will be higher, but over time the share price will drop again. The more and more the share will be vanish in their bank account. You're probably not wrong. Why are people saying YieldMax funds are a scam? I guess we have some dumbass amongst us. Oh, I love this. This is as good as politics because the people that think it's a scam think that people on your side of the spectrum are, to quote you, dumbasses, but you think they're dumbasses. So we've truly got 2 extremes here. All right, folks, I'm gonna sit here till I get another like. This is ridiculous. Come on. 2 thumbs way up. It helps the algorithm, helps me to bring videos like this to you all. All you gotta do, everybody on here, smash the like button. That's all you gotta do. It's really only 1 thumb. It's just a click of a mouse. That's all it is. Just a click of a mouse. And I'll tell you YieldMax is great. I'll tell you what you wanna hear. How's that? Just kidding. I give the truth. I don't tell you all. I don't sugarcoat it. There we go. We got some pulse in the audience. Okay, this person says, gotta love panic sellers. The payout is way too high. Reverse split already baked in. They will reverse split yearly. Wouldn't surprise me because think about this. The last TSLY reverse split was actually last year, even though it seems like it was closer to 2 years ago. Yeah, I know. Justin, he always does his homework early. He's the first one often that walks in the door for class. He's prepared. He smashes the like button. If we could all be like Justin, think about this WWJD. What would Justin do? If everybody emulated Justin, it would be a much better world. I just have to say. Okay. So yeah, panic sellers. ULTY was up 18% or so of its shares shorted, down a little bit now. Way too many shares traded on a daily basis. I sold all mine over the last couple months. Suspect after the split happens, unless they change the way they make money with ULTY, shorts will be back since there'll be a lot more money to be made. I agree with a lot of you all. I think that, we may see a reverse split every year. Let's see here. A lot of good comments though. A lot of hearts being issued out. If you had the inverse of the following funds like Misty and Winter, depending on your ratio, you're staying pretty flat. And that's the key in income investing. Yeah, I agree with that. I only sat in YieldMax funds the first 3 to 4 months when it came out. After the shit, it will cause long term. I got out ASAP. Okay. Remember when everyone laughed at QYLD 2 years ago and even 1 year ago? Well, the joke is on us, YieldMax funds investors. QYLD beat. Hey, I love this comment because I did the same thing. I got out of QYLD to invest in these. QYLD beats TSLY and ULTY and reinvesting the total shares. In fact, it's funny because I just actually sold my QYLD at a gain. The problem with a reverse split and the long-term negative compound effect is the long-term negative compound effect. Yes, nothing changes immediately, but going forward, you now have a fraction of the shares. I agree. What do I always say? It's like legal theft. They take your shares from you. And to quote Jay, how can you manage your shares when your shares get taken from you? Right? Okay. Nothing changes immediately, but going forward, yeah, fraction of the shares. And the NAV erosion on a per share basis will be multiplied by the ratio of the reverse split. Say you have 100 shares at $10 per share, paying 10 cents per share. A 1 to 10 reverse split means you will now have 10 shares at $100 per share, paying $1 a share. Technically, your value is 1,000 either way, but reverse split, now you have 1/10 the shares. If nothing changes, your NAV per share is eroding by $1, not 10 cents. Spot on. Long term is not sustainable. The more reverse split a fund goes through, the worse the negative compounding effect. I am going to show you all the video. I'm going to do a video on my own TSLY, and I'm going to show you how I still lost a portion of it. Originally, I want to say I put about 80,000 into it. If you look at my cost basis when I actually just sold it, it showed 50,000 was the cost basis. So there's still another 30 that went away in the reverse split. And I'm going to show you all exactly how that happened, because you all know accounting was not my forte, but I'm good at like forensic accounting. I'm good at solving puzzles and putting numbers together. It's boring and it's tedious, but it's necessary. When you're managing your own money, everybody, if you read the book The Millionaire Next Door, everybody that is very good at managing their own money and stuff and has gotten to that level, they got very good at tracking their money. Tracking is very important. So forensic accounting is something I have become very good at. So I'm going to show you all my own forensic accounting on TSLY. This person says, I think Bitcoin's very different from crypto. I hope over time most of those scam coins disappear and the real use case gets to benefit humanity. I don't know. There's so much vested interest in Bitcoin. I don't know. Here's another person that says great news is great for those who use margin on these funds. Then the next commenter, gotta love this. How is this great news? Value stays the same. Doesn't, because the margin maintenance to increase when the price of assets like ULTY go below $3. Well, that's the thing. You see that right there. He's right. The margin maintenance will increase. You see, as it goes down. So on the flip side, I guess as it goes up, the margin maintenance goes down. I don't know. You all are on both sides of this coin here. A stock split's a good thing for people who live on margin. Well, I don't think you should live on margin to begin with, but to each their own. I mean, I have like out of 6 accounts, I have 1 account that has margin. That's the only one that blew up for me this year. So go figure. Margin is not my forte. I prefer to invest with my own money. Of course, I'm not here to tell you all what to do. Some people think I told people to buy YieldMax. I'm not here to tell you all what to do. I just show what I do and take it or leave it, basically. Let's see. I just invest 100,000 8 months ago. My portfolio down 38. Oh, that's terrible. I got paid 20,000 dividends, so I still down 18,000 with the help of bonds and CDs. You might want to try options too. You know what I feel like this is becoming? This is becoming like Dividend Investors Anonymous. We're all sitting around in a round table here telling our, sad stories about how much we lost in high yield dividend funds. If you can do your own options trading, then great. If not, you have to rely on others or just get lost. I agree. And I'm a believer everybody can do their own options trading. I know very blue collar people that do it with, no formal education. So I think that it's very doable. I've seen pretty much anyone learn it. Now they do the reverse split trick. Yeah, gimmicky, right? YieldMax is rewarding the incompetence of the fund manager by punishing the investors. Well, hey, capitalist society. I learned an expensive lesson from the first TSLY reverse split. So did I. My average cost went from $16 to $32 a share. The payouts basically went to half, and the share price continued to drop. Took an 80,000 loss and moved on. These funds, see, he was smart. He got out of it all. He ripped the Band-Aid off. I stayed in, actually. He was very similar in what he held in YieldMax to me. These funds have always been a scam. Jay's pal should be in prison. Wow. ULTY 10 for 1. Yes, indeed. Yep. So that's pretty much okay. That's just the unresponded ones, but I think we did a pretty good job with a good cross section here. We had some commenters blaming YouTubers for promoting these. Like I said, I'm nowhere near the biggest channel in the space, so if you're looking for targets, I don't even think I should be in the top 5 or top 10. I mean, I have talked about these funds, obviously, but I didn't tell anyone to buy them. So if they don't keep stable NAV in these funds after this YieldMax, but we read that one already. Favorite time bear market. Okay, we pretty much hit this pretty good here. So I think that, let's see, we'll do some more. Are we caught up with the live comments here? Let's see. Now they do reverse split. Yeah, we read that already. So this was actually, I was actually late to this game. This was posted Friday, I think, at market close. So some people, yeah, they think it's great news. Here's a comment here. Very disappointed about YieldMax, Jay and his staff, and the YouTuber promoting it, looking for views. I do have to be honest. Of all the subjects I've covered on YouTube, I don't know how you all take this, but yes, I have gotten my highest views from covering these funds. I have tried to show you all other ways to make money. I've tried to show you all options wins. I've tried to show you all growth investing. But unfortunately, of everything I've covered, you all gravitate to this. So I don't know if it's my fault. I don't know if that makes it my fault that you all give me the highest views for covering these funds. Some people think that makes it my fault. That means I'm pitching these funds. But of all the content I cover, because I cover a broad spectrum of personal financial content, and I've shown you guys multiple ways to make money. In fact, I've done a video on 8 income streams. So this happens to be one of them, but it just so happens this gets the highest views. I frequently joke, like I can show a $25,000 trade win in an option trade, but you all would rather watch a 5-cent ULTY dividend, which by the way now will be maybe 50 cents because we got a reverse split. So anyway, that's just my 2 cents on that. Let's see. Not your fault, degenerates are going to be degenerates. Misty will be next in line. I'm surprised they weren't this time. You know why I think they weren't? Drum roll. This is my profound logic. So be ready. This is profound. Why Misty wasn't on the list this time? Because they got superstitious and they didn't want to make it unlucky number 13. Ah, see, you all didn't think about that, did you? Speaking of unlucky number 13, Richard Woolley has 12,500 shares of ULTY, just 500 shy of 13,000. Should I sell before the reverse split? That's up to you. I think you like these products. So I don't know why to sell or not. I mean, if you're in that much, you obviously like the product. So I don't know. I happen to sell before the reverse split, but that's just me. But anyway, that's going to do it, folks. Thank you all for tuning in. Like, comment, and subscribe, and join Discord. We'll see you all in the next one. Take care. Bye.